What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. So today I am here with an entire new collection from MAC. It's a spring collection called Boom Boom Bloom. And MAC was kind enough to send over the entire collection for me to try out. So I'm going to use every product from the collection on camera today. In case you haven't seen the collection floating around, it is very spring themed. It has this cherry blossom themed packaging. It's super cute. I'll show you up closer so you can actually see it. Duh, Nicole. But yeah, very, very cute. Very, very spring. There was some controversy, when is there not, surrounding the highlight powders that came out with this collection. Now, I've been playing around with these for a day or two because I wanted to see what they were like before I really just opened them up and gave you guys a first impression, because since people were talking about what they're like, I wanted to really know what I was talking about and not just go on like a first opening the package impression. So we will dive into what I think these should be used for, what I think is good about them, what I think could have been done differently, etc. So we will get into that after the shadow tutorial. I will timestamp everything in the description below because I know that a lot of times when a big collection like this comes out, you might not be interested in every single item. So completely understand. So instead of just clicking away and going somewhere else, just go down to the description. You can jump to where you need to be and it's better for everyone. So I'm going to do an eye look with the shadow palette. I'll use these. I'm going to use the new Fix Plus, which is the cutest. And then I'll just do swatches of all of the lip products that came out with this collection. There are 5 lipsticks. 4 of those 5 are matte shades, and there is 1 cream sheen, and then there are 4 lip glasses that came out with it as well. So we'll do live swatching of all of that so you get to see them all. And at the end, I'll wrap it up and let you guys know what I think of this collection overall. If you are new here, maybe you should subscribe. I'm not going to pressure you if you literally just clicked onto this video for the first time and saw my face. But if you're maybe lurking a little bit and you've seen a couple of videos, I would like to encourage you to go ahead and subscribe. Stick around. Have a good time. And also, if you don't mind taking a second to do it, just hit that like button. Let me know that you like these types of videos. And also just help me out, you know? So yeah, there are a lot of products in this launch. I don't want to sit here and chew your ear off because I have a funny feeling this video is going to be on the longer side. So let's just get into it and start trying out all of the products from this Boom Boom Bloom spring collection. Okay, please excuse my powder eyes, but the first product that we're going to be using today is the MAC Strobe Cream. Now, Strobe Cream is an existing product. It's actually a MAC classic product. In my opinion, it is like one of the products that has been around forever, but this one is in the color PINKLITE, which means it has a pearl pink finish rather than a white pearl finish like the usual one. Does not say on the information that MAC provided, but I think it has a cherry blossom scent to go along with the theme of this release because it doesn't smell like the original Strobe Cream. It's got definitely a stronger smell. I'm going to insert footage here of me applying this to my face to prep for makeup before I put the rest of my base on. But I noticed when I was applying it that it definitely has a little bit stronger of a scent than the usual Strobe Cream, and the scent is a little bit different. I also felt like this was so pretty, and like, I don't know if I just haven't used Strobe Cream in a really long time and I forgot how nice it looks on your skin, but goddamn, like that really made me like start with a really glowing base. And I put my regular foundation over it, which is Too Faced Born This Way, which is fairly decent coverage, and I felt like I can still see the glowiness a little bit through the foundation, and everything sat really, really nicely. The pinkness of this is the same pink shade that they have in the Fix Plus that has the shimmer in it. So if you like the PINKLITE Fix Plus, you'll probably like the finish of this on your skin as well. But I think the pinkness in this is a little bit more intense than the pinkness in the Fix Plus that's the same color. In case you're not really familiar with how you can use Strobe Cream, you can use it to prep your skin for makeup and give yourself a little bit of a glowy base, but you can also use it on your body and basically anywhere that you want to give yourself a little bit of a glow. And I'm gonna definitely be using this more often now because I haven't used Strobe Cream in a minute and it is lovely. While I was off camera, I just did the rest of my base and my brows. So now I want to dip into the little eyeshadow palette. This is the Kabuki Doll Eyeshadow Palette. It's a 9-pan little mini palette. When I opened this up, I hadn't read the information yet, and I was expecting a quad, and when I saw 9 shades, I was like, what? The 9 shades are pretty neutral, which was surprising to me because with the theme of the rest of this launch, I thought that we were gonna get some pastels in here, and we're most certainly not. But there are a couple of very pretty shades in there, and I think we can get a nice look out of it. I just, for some reason, was really expecting to open this up and be like slapped in the face with like some pinky, purpley, maybe some light blue goodness. But for such a tiny little palette, this does look really complete, and I think that we can get something nice and spring-like out of like some of these shades over here, so we will see. I'm going to start by going into this shade here called Making Mauvey Moves. I'm gonna pick that up on a MAC 217 brush and start putting that through my crease. That is so much more dark and pigmented than I was expecting it to be. But I'm not mad about it, that's nice. I'm just gonna blend that out with a clean brush. Next, I'm gonna go into the shade here called Kabuki Doll. This is a matte brown, but it has a little hint of like a burgundy undertone to it. I'm gonna use that on my outer corner first, just tapping that in to where I want it to go. Next, I'm gonna go into this copper shade on the bottom here called Kyoto Kitty. I think this looks like the most interesting shade in this palette to me. It's like a red metallic coppery color, but it looks to me like there's a little bit of a gold to pink shift happening in there. Put that on a Real Technique shading brush, and I'm going to just wet that with a little bit of setting spray and dab it on where we don't have any color down yet. Yeah, that's definitely got more of a pink shift in it than you would think just initially by looking at it in the pan, which is a nice thing in my opinion because it is the most interesting color in this little palette. Of all the shades I've used so far, that one gave me the most fallout, but I do find, and I don't know if you guys notice this too, let me know if you do, when I use a shadow wet on a shading brush to pack it onto a certain part of my eye, I usually find that's when I get the most fallout with something. Let me know if you experience that as well. I think it might be because I don't tap it off as much because I'm trying to get like a color payoff, you know? I'm gonna grab a little Luxie 111 mini brush here, and I'm gonna go into the shade in the center called Spice Dynasty. I'm just gonna tap that over the edge of where we put down that metallic shade to blend it into the shade that we used in the outer corner. It's like a nice intermediate between the two. Okay, I tossed on a wing because that's just been my vibe this week, and the left one came out weak, very weak, but you know what? I'm struggling today, and I don't know why. I think I'm PMSing, so I'm just gonna accept the struggle bus and carry on. I want to keep the bottom a little bit on the plain side, but I do want to define the lash line a little bit to balance it out. So I'm gonna go back into Spice Dynasty in the center here on a BH number 7, and I'm just gonna drag that along the lower lashes. I'm just gonna blend the edge of that with a clean brush as usual. I'm gonna go into the shade Duster on a Luxie 141 mini, and I'm gonna wet that with my setting spray and put it on my inner corner. Ooh. Hello, inner corner highlight. That's a nice highlight shade. Let me go finish off my eyes real quick for the sake of time, and then we'll move on to the next product. Okay, so the eyes are done, and I actually really like this eye look. I know I said that I was surprised and wished that this was pastels, and to be honest with you, I kind of still do, but at the same time, I like this. So, I mean, I can't complain. I think this one is Fortune Cookie and this one is Kyoto Kitty. I don't know if I got it right before or not, but whichever one this is here is a beautiful, beautiful shade. And then the brightest shade here, it is a gorgeous highlight shade. Like, it looks so smooth and pretty on my inner corners right now. And I have like really finkly, wrinkly inner corners, so that's always like a feat, you know? Overall, I really like that palette. I think it performed really well, and I feel very cute in this eye look, which always is a good sign. Now, moving on to the item that was apparently a source of controversy. I had no idea that these were controversial at all. I just opened them and I thought they were so cute, and I put them on my Instagram story, and my DMs lit up, like lit up. There were so many people like, they're an overspray, it's powdery. And like I was a little disappointed actually that it's an overspray. So this is the highlight powder in the color Fleur Real, and everybody was upset to hear that the beautiful ombre effect here is in fact an overspray. This is the shade Spring Bling. It is more of like a bronze shade, and this is an overspray as well. So to just weigh in on the overspray issue right off the bat, first and foremost, I never really like oversprays. I think that it's a weird thing to do because you're misrepresenting what you're gonna get in the product by making the surface of it look different than the rest of it really is. So I never really understood the point. But setting that aside, just addressing the fact that everybody thinks these are super powdery or super chalky looking, sort of. Okay, so I dipped into these because I wanted to like play with them a little bit and get a better idea of what they were like before we jumped into the video, because I knew that a lot of people had questions about them. My initial thoughts with the pink one, Fleur Real, I was like, oh, it just kind of looks like a glowy blush shade. But what I didn't realize is that the overspray went over more of the product than I realized it did. And when you get down to the actual product without any overspray, I'll show you what it looks like on my finger. I understand why people were like, oh my God, what a chalky mess. See, that's what we get when we dip into that. And that is what we get when we dip into Spring Bling. So I do agree that these as a highlight are not what I was expecting at all. If you call something a highlight, I expect something to look like really glowy, really blingy on my cheeks. When you rub them out, the finish you get is just like a very subtle glow, almost like a glowy finishing powder rather than a highlight, which makes me think that this was intentional because they remind me of, I'll show you, I took this out, dug it out of the archives and cleaned it to show you guys. It reminds me so much of the Hourglass ambient lighting powders. I'll show you what these look like on my finger for reference. They look pretty much identical to the MAC powders, which is that they are glowy in the sense that they add a little touch of luminosity to the skin, but they're not necessarily what I would consider to be a highlight. They're more like a glowy finishing powder. So I am going to use both of these on my face. I haven't bronzed yet, so we'll use this like where I would use a bronzer. And I'm expecting to get a result sort of like I would expect from the Hourglass ambient lighting powders, and not so much like a traditional highlight. I don't know why MAC would put these out and call them a highlight instead of something like a skin finish, because I think that's where people are getting tripped up because that seems misleading. That along with the overspray being more shiny, I think that that made people feel like they were duped, but I don't think that that's the intention of this powder. I think it's meant to be used more like an ambient powder. So for the bronzy color one, I'm going to pick that up on a Luxie 660 brush. I'm gonna zoom you guys in so you can see a little better. I'm just gonna use that to warm up my skin in areas where I would normally put bronzer. It definitely gives a little bit of glow too, like enough that you definitely shouldn't use it as a contour, that's for certain. Now I'm gonna use Fleur Real, and I'm only gonna pick it up from the area where there's no overspray because I don't wanna get the overspray on my face and skew our results. I'm just gonna put that on the high points of my face. There's definitely a little bit of a pink shade to it. And it really reminds me of the ambient lighting powders, like a lot. That reminds me so much of those. You can almost use this as like a brightening setting powder. Like I'm just gonna put it underneath my eyes right now. Just wake myself up a little bit, wake myself up inside. Just for reference, I blended this shade, the Fleur Real, on the outside portion of my hand here, and a little bit of the ambient lighting powder from Hourglass on the inside part of my hand. And honestly, you can't even really tell the difference. It's just like a subtle sheen. So really, I think that that's basically what these are. And I think they're just really poorly marketed. But if you're looking for a highlight that's this ombre pink intense shimmer, you are going to be very disappointed. So I could definitely see why people were like, eh, about it. If you are looking for a MAC highlighter specifically for some reason, highly, highly, highly recommend the Hyper Real Glow palettes. They are my favorite highlighters of all time. This is nice as a finishing powder for sure, but it's definitely something that's more of like a subtle touch than a in your face kind of a thing. I kind of really like Spring Bling as a glowy bronzer, which actually makes a lot of sense because I really like Radiant Light from Hourglass. So yeah, pretty similar. Next up on the list, this is so cute. I'm so stoked for this to exist. This is a special edition Cherry Blossom Fix Plus. Fix Plus is like one of my favorite products ever. I love Fix Plus so much. I use Fix Plus pretty much every day of my life. So I'm really excited to have this Cherry Blossom scented one. I always like the limited edition scents because as much as I like the smell of original Fix Plus, it's nice to switch it up every now and then. Oh my God, the coconut one. Oh, it's so good. But I'm just gonna go ahead and spritz my face with this, let you guys know what I think if it's any different than regular Fix Plus. As far as I can tell, it's the regular formula with a nice scent and some extra pretty packaging. So I don't think we should expect too many surprises here, but let's try it anyway. Oh my God, that smell is so nice. I like this one. The smell is really, really nice. It's very light. The smell of this is definitely less intense than the smell of the strobe cream. I think I like this one better. It's like, it reminds me of like a, maybe it's like a really, really light version of Marc Jacobs Daisy perfume. Something like that. It's very, very light and like just like a little hint of floral. It's nice. So that is all the face and eye products. Now there are 5 lipsticks and 4 new lip gloss shades to go through. Those are much more in the theme of the spring bloom aesthetic that kind of goes along with this whole release. I mean, hi. So I'm gonna swatch them all on my lips so you get a look at what they all look like. And then at the end, I'll decide what I'm gonna pair with this eye look. I have no idea yet. So it's gonna be just as much a surprise to me as it is to you. Okay, so we've been through all of the products. We've used them all in one way or another, and item by item, let's just go through it and decide what we think. As far as the strobe cream is concerned, I really like this. I feel like this gave me such a nice base to do my makeup over today. I haven't used strobe cream as a base in a really long time. I used to swear by it. When I used to assist a makeup artist in New York, he used to use strobe cream on every single client. And you know what? After using this today, I remember why. It really is very nice under your makeup. This also looks great as a body highlight just to like kind of make your collarbones pop, your shoulders and stuff. Even on the legs, it's really nice. I obviously haven't used the pink one on my body, but regular strobe cream, I've done that a million times and I love it. Kabuki Doll 9-pan eyeshadow palette. First of all, I am just so impressed that there are 9 shades in here. Like obviously the pan size is pretty small, but I mean, That's 9 shades that you can just like stick in your bag and bring it somewhere with you, which I love. They all performed really nicely. I really, really liked this pinkish copper color that's on my lids. Everything else worked really nicely. Oh, and the inner corner highlight, stunning, really, really pretty. I do wish that they had done something with some pastels involved in the eyeshadow colors just to go along with this collection. I think like a baby pink or a baby blue matte shade or even a shimmer in here really would have been a nice touch. But that's just kind of a personal preference, I guess. A lot of people probably want the spring themed packaging with more neutral shades. So, I mean, to each their own, I suppose. But the shades that are in here, I think they performed really nicely and I'm pretty impressed with it. And I'm going to be traveling again next week. I just may bring this as my travel palette because it's lovely and it's nice and small. The powder highlights, like I said, if you are looking for a bright highlight, you're probably going to be really disappointed in these. But if you like something like the Hourglass Ambient Lighting powders, like I think that my skin looks beautiful with these on it today. And I haven't used anything else to highlight. I mean, obviously I used strobe cream and I set my face with the Fix Plus, so that gives a dewiness too, but I haven't used any other highlighter and like I feel like my skin looks really bright and really nice and I have no complaints. However, if I had picked this up and thought it was going to be really highlighty because of the overspray, I think I'd be pissed. So, if you do pick this up, please go into it knowing that it is more of a finishing powder like the Hourglass ones. Definitely not like a strobe highlight at all. I think in general, brands should just stop doing the overspray thing. Like, let's leave oversprays behind us in 2019. I also really like Spring Bling as a bronzing shade. I feel like it warmed up my face nicely. Just keep in mind though that when I'm saying this, I haven't tested these on anybody but myself and I am a pasty bitch, so I don't know how these are going to perform on anybody who's tanner or deeper than me. The Fix Plus is lovely. Who doesn't love Fix Plus? I mean, I don't know. Let me know in a comment down below. Do you love Fix Plus? Because I most certainly do. It's just typical Fix Plus. It doesn't have anything added to it, no shimmer or anything like that. At first when I saw this online, I thought the cherry blossom petals were floating in the bottle and I was like, oh, they're not though. That was just the packaging and that's on me, but I mean, how pretty would that have been if they were? But if you like Fix Plus, then you're definitely gonna like this. I think the scent is really nice. It's very floral, so if you don't like floral scents, maybe it will be for you, but it is on the light side, so it's not like offensively floral. And I sprayed this on probably about an hour ago now because I did it before I started swatching the lip products, and it's not lingering. There's no smell lingering on my face. I don't notice it as I'm sitting here, so it's nothing like, you know, when you put a face product on and you smell it all damn day and you're like, no, it's not like that. So now getting into the lip products, the lipsticks, first of all, I'm glad that there are 4 matte ones because the matte formula is my favorite formula from MAC. The cream sheen was actually pretty nice. That color, I don't know if it was terribly flattering on me. Which one was that? That was Hey Kiss Me. That one, it's pretty. It's a nice pink, but blue toned pinks in the lighter range of things don't generally seem to be something that I find flattering on myself. It's not like, oh my god, I think I look so ugly in them or something. I just don't wind up reaching for them because I like warmer tones better. But this shade Framboise Moi, which I hate saying because I feel like I'm tripping over my own tongue every time, this is so pretty. I really, really like this shade and I will be wearing this again shortly because I really like it. With the lip gloss, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I was a little concerned about the lighter colors because sometimes very thick lip gloss, when it has like that pastel kind of a base to it, looks a little jizzy. The shade For the Frill of It, which was the first one that I swatched, has like a really nice shift to it and it doesn't give you that milky undertone at all. It kind of just sits on the top of the lips like a nice shimmer. It doesn't settle into the lines, which is usually what gets on my nerves about milky colored lip glosses. Didn't find that to be the case with that. And actually the other one, Pinkaboo, this one I really thought was going to be that way. I don't think this is a color that I would wear personally. It's not for me, but the way that it applied for a very pigmented kind of milky undertone gloss, I thought was really impressive because it looked really smooth on the lips and my lips looked nice and like plumped by it, which is usually not the case with colors like this, so I really liked that a lot. But the ones that I actually really liked the most were Cherry Mochi, which is so pretty. It reminds me of the Framboise lipstick that I liked, and I think they would look really nice together. It kind of has like that berry shade, which is something I always kind of gravitate to. And the one that I'm wearing right now is Heart Melter, and this one, this is a bomb lip gloss. It's like a mauve, but it's like I don't know, there's something really nice about it. I'm enjoying this like to the point where I'm gonna just, this is my travel makeup bag sitting next to my desk. It's going in there right now so I don't forget. So those are my thoughts overall. Obviously there were some issues with the highlight powders, but I think as a whole, everything else was pretty nice. It maybe wasn't exactly what I expected from this spring launch. The lip products were, the eyeshadow wasn't, but like I said, I'm really enjoying these colors, so I can't even be mad. If you're picking anything up from this collection, or if you have picked up anything from this collection, leave me a comment down below, let me know. I will also leave all of the information about this collection in the description box, including the prices, where it's available, and when, and all of that will be listed down below so you guys can have that as an easy reference. Please don't forget to leave a thumbs up on this video if you don't mind taking a second, because it really helps me out and I always appreciate it and lets me know that you guys are enjoying this type of content so I can make more. And also, if you are new here, don't forget to subscribe, because that is the best way not to miss any videos going forward, and I would love to have you around. To keep up with me between videos, go find me on other social media, but mainly I'm on Instagram all the time. I'm at Miss Quinface anywhere you could possibly want to find me. I do lips and weird stuff over on Instagram that you may not see here on YouTube, and the stories feature is where we do like most of the behind the scenes and polls and PR unboxings, and I kind of ask you guys what you want to see here on YouTube and also on my Instagram. So go follow me over there and follow along. I don't think you'll regret it. That is all for today. When this video goes up, I am either about to leave for vacation. I know I just got back from somewhere else, but that's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. Or I have already left. So if I'm not answering your comments as quickly, I will get to them as soon as I am back in the country. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found something helpful in this video. I appreciate you always, and I will see you in the next one.